In the middle of the current school semester, it's important to note that most teenagers don't get the recommended 9 hours of sleep a night.
9. That can lead to problems with concentration, moodiness, and self-control. Our friends at Southwest Medical tell us how to make sure your children are getting the rest they need.
So sleep is unfortunately not recognized as important as it is. I really feel like it should be like the 5th vital sign almost. We all know intrinsically how we feel when we're sleep deprived, but all animals sleep. It's incredibly important. There's lots of brain chemistry that changes and is affected by sleep patterns. For adolescents, they actually need more sleep, not less. They have a different circadian rhythm. Teenagers typically need 8.5 to 9.5 hours of sleep a night to get restorative sleep. And they're not able to easily fall asleep early to acquire that sleep. So the sleep hormone melatonin peaks in adults at like 9, and for teens it's actually later, more like 11. So if they're wanting to stay up late, it's not just they're fooling around on their cell phones, they really have difficulty falling asleep early. And at the same token, they need more sleep than us adults. They're growing brains and changing brains. So when we start them early at 7 a.m., as a lot of high schools do, including my daughters, they become chronically sleep deprived. During sleep, our heart rate is lower and our blood pressure is lower. So for both kids and adults, having basically a third of your life asleep where you have less pressure on your blood vessels and lower heart rate, in fact, impacts cardiovascular health. So sleep will impact obesity, diabetes, heart attack, stroke because of hypertension, and then with respect to the cognitive arenas, especially with teens, grades will be affected, and then the emotionality. The two things I really worry about in teenagers in terms of significant mortality are really car accident and suicide. And drowsy driving is a huge problem in the U.S. overall, not just for teenagers, but in communities that switched school start time to later, they've seen 15% minimum up to 70% decrease in car accidents just from later start times comparing to when they had the earliest start times. And then you add to that the emotional dysregulation and depression and then substance use. So the two most important things in teenagers: car accident, suicide, and then adult disease, hypertension, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, all impacted by sleep. This debate has come up in many communities, including here in Nevada, and we need to get on the boat for later school start times. Many other states have done it. Like I said, there's a 25-year body of evidence for schools that have done late start time, and they've seen the impact. And so we know that it actually is helpful, and we just have to get over the resistance to change.
And we wanted to thank Southwest Medical and all of our Community Pride sponsors.